What about on that theme of reemergence, even DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that you've observed and led through at the museum and at Jefferson? Could you reflect on that and maybe some advice for us
Yeah.
going forward?
So at the museum in 2020, we would have launched our new strategic plan. Now the board has just elected to push it back a year because we feel that we lost a year. We were launching in January of 2020. One of the three key goals in the plan was fostering inclusion, and we were very intentional around that language around inclusion. And so what we've done as we've started to re-engage an employee community and continue to engage with and grow the board is really committing to the right talent that represents diverse communities. You can't just engage for diversity, you have to engage individuals around their talent and what their value proposition is for the work. So we're launching shortly what we're calling our journey to inclusion and belonging, because it is a journey. It builds off of what we started several years ago. And one of the ways we're going to start this is in a couple weeks we'll do a management retreat where this will be a core focus of the afternoon. And 4 weeks later the board will have their retreat, which will be the core focus of their afternoon. We're having the same facilitator for both retreats, and we're having the same speaker on diversity, equity, inclusion. So we started to build that thread.
There's a thread there.
And we're starting to think about, what does the next 18 to 24 months look like? You cannot do this in one fell swoop. You have to really absorb it. And we're not done hiring and rebuilding the team yet. So how can you start a journey to inclusion and belonging if everyone who's supposed to be included and belong aren't really there yet? And we're anticipating by mid to late January we will have our full complement of team. So that's when we really want to lean in.
Right.
We obviously want to get a grant so we can do it right and bring in the right resources, et cetera. So we see it that way at the museum. Very proud of the fact that right now our data on our board diversity is 38% and our employee diversity percentage is 47%. So we've really been intentional around that. But again, we want the talent. And if you look in the right places, you'll find the right talent that has the skill set to bring value. On the university side, at Thomas Jefferson University, and on the hospital health system side, we've been working on this a lot. I just had a conference call earlier today with this remarkable woman, Dr. Janet Reed, who is on the board of the University of Cincinnati. She is one of the most brilliant thought leaders in DEI work globally. And she's coming in to do an education session with the board in November. So really, how do you use the opportunity for learning to open thinking?
Right.
And she made an interesting comment at the end of the conversation. Many organizations are shifting the DEI to a JEI, so going from diversity, equity, inclusion to going to justice, equity, inclusion. And I know many of your clients are in academia and higher ed, and this is a trend that you may start to see, so it's something that your team might want to think about as you're thinking about the client environment and talking about them.
Yeah, we've seen JEDI, justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, belonging also become. It's great.